Welcome to Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha, a podcast shared by David Roylance. This podcast is dedicated to guiding you to completely eliminate the discontent mind and the suffering it causes by attaining enlightenment. Learn and practice the teachings of Gotama Buddha that will guide you to fully attain a peaceful, calm, serene, and content mind with joy. To support this podcast, visit patreon.com/support Buddha or visit buddhadailywisdom.com, where you will discover a full range of courses, retreats, and online learning resources to assist you on the path to enlightenment. Now, here's our teacher to share more.
How to determine if you have attained enlightenment. 1. Never stop practicing the teachings. Enlightenment, or the pursuit of enlightenment, is exactly that, a pursuit. Even when you think enlightenment has been attained, you should never think you are done and stop practicing the teachings. The most enlightened beings, in my opinion, would never consider themselves enlightened and always continue to learn, reflect, and practice the teachings, developing deeper wisdom each day. To attain enlightenment, you will need a well-established understanding and practice of these teachings. If you have developed a solid practice of these teachings and see the benefits, you will not be interested to stop practicing or even consider yourself as enlightened. Even when you experience what you think is enlightenment, you need to never consider yourself as having attained enlightenment. Continue to practice the teachings, always pursuing deeper and deeper wisdom through your well-developed learning and practice of these teachings. 2. You will be fully practicing the Eightfold Path, which includes the Three Universal Truths, the Four Noble Truths, and the 5 Precepts. See previous chapters for details on these teachings and practices. 3. When you have fully attained enlightenment as an Arahant, you will have eliminated all the 10 fetters. See previous chapters for details on these teachings and practices. 4. You have cultivated a mind that is completely practicing the Brahma Viharas. See previous chapters for details on these teachings and practices. 5. You will be fully practicing the 7 factors of enlightenment. See previous chapters for details on these teachings and practices. 6. You will know for yourself you have attained enlightenment because you will have eliminated 100% of discontentedness from the mind. This means you will no longer experience any of these feelings. A pleasant feeling, happiness, excitement, elation, thrill, exhilaration, euphoria, etc. A painful feeling, sadness, anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, guilt, shame, fear, stress, anxiety, etc. A feeling that is neither painful nor pleasant, boredom, loneliness, melancholy, shyness, displeased, uncomfortable, unsatisfied, etc. In the unenlightened state, you will experience pleasant feelings, painful feelings, and feelings that are neither painful nor pleasant. These are the feelings Gotama Buddha's teachings guide you to eliminate from the mind. They are all impermanent feelings and completely eliminated for one who has attained enlightenment. Enlightenment is a permanent mental state that is unaffected by these impermanent feelings and is a permanent place for the mind to reside. The mind will be protected, unshakable, peaceful, calm, serene, and content with joy. The body and the mind will feel light and completely at peace. To understand more about what is enlightenment, see the chapter titled Enlightenment. What is Enlightenment? Chapter 3. Additional notes. It is important to pursue enlightenment without craving or desire to attain it, but use it as a goal, an interest, or an objective. If there is craving, even craving for enlightenment, you will not be able to attain full enlightenment as an arahant. And if there is craving at the time of death, there will be rebirth. There is no finish line to the attainment of enlightenment. Once a mind reaches the fourth stage of enlightenment, the mind can continue to ascend to higher degrees of the enlightened mind. A practitioner needs to focus on the one step in front of them that leads to further progress on the path to enlightenment. If the mind is focusing on the imaginary, non-existent finish line, the craving, desire, attachment for enlightenment will inhibit and hinder the mind from experiencing enlightenment. Instead, a practitioner may be interested to understand that enlightenment is the true nature of the human mind, and they are just working to remove all the pollution of the mind that is inhibiting them from experiencing the true nature of enlightenment. In this way, the mind is not attempting to attain anything at all, but instead, the mind is already enlightened, and a practitioner's life practice is to purify the mind, removing the pollution that is hindering one from experiencing the radiance and brightness of enlightenment. You should not compare or profess to another person which stage of enlightenment you think you have attained. Self-declared enlightenment has no beneficial purpose and oftentimes comes from arrogance and pride, the ego, while being fraught and filled with errors. You should never believe you have attained enlightenment and constantly pursue this path your entire life. Should you ever think you have attained enlightenment and are done, the mind will become sluggish and halt your progress on this path. If the mind is sluggish, you are not practicing the 7 factors of enlightenment and thus have not attained enlightenment. If you profess your stage of enlightenment to others, then you do so with ego, and therefore it is well known that you have not attained enlightenment. The 4 stages of enlightenment are provided as a personal guide to assist you on the path to higher and higher degrees of attainment, but never to be compared to others or feel that you are more important than another person. If you feel this way, you have not attained enlightenment. Now that you have completed reading Volume 1 of this book series and may decide to read this book multiple times, I would like to take a moment to personally thank you for your determination, dedication, and diligence to learn, reflect, and practice the teachings of the Buddha on the path to enlightenment. The time, effort, energy, and resources that you devote to this path are serving to help you and countless other beings. As you choose to learn and practice these teachings, you will significantly reduce, then eliminate, any harm that you are putting into the world through your unknowing of true reality. The unenlightened mind does not understand what it does not understand. You are now applying time, effort, energy, and resources to improving the condition of the mind, the condition of your life, and thus the condition of the world through investigating the teachings to acquire wisdom. The world becomes a better place when we each individually choose to improve our own life practice, taking responsibility for our own intentions, speech, actions, and livelihood, while improving our wisdom and mental discipline. I admire individuals who choose to walk towards harmlessness. I admire individuals who choose to realize there is a better way of life and create that better way of life for themselves through seeking guidance. And I admire individuals who do not shrink back from the struggle to move the mind towards enlightenment when the natural tendency might be to remain complacent. Why have I chosen to share these teachings with you? That it may be for the benefit and peacefulness of the multitude, many people. out of compassion for the world, for the benefit and peacefulness of heavenly beings and humans. Gotama Buddha. Because if they understand even a single sentence, that will lead to their welfare and peacefulness for a long time. Gotama Buddha. May you discover the freedom associated with a mind that is peaceful, calm, serene, and content with joy permanently, the enlightened mind. As you need help to learn, reflect, and practice these teachings, you are welcome to seek guidance which is available openly and freely to all beings. Author. David Roylance is a dedicated practitioner and teacher of Gotama Buddha's teachings who has been part of the Thai community since 2001. He visited Thailand for the first time in 2002 and brought the traditional Thai healing arts back to the United States of America to share with people in the Western world. His traditional Thai healing arts centers, located in the Washington, D.C. area, provided traditional Thai healing arts to clients and educational opportunities to students to explore the Thai healing arts, Thai culture, and the teachings of Gotama Buddha. David is a published author with books on the topics of traditional Thai healing arts and the path that leads to enlightenment. David has taught Gotama Buddha's teachings since 2005 in the United States of America. In 2015, he closed his businesses and relocated to Chiang Mai, Thailand, to be closer to the Thai culture and the Thai community of Buddhist practitioners. David shares Gotama Buddha's teachings with household practitioners and ordained practitioners in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and around the world through courses, retreats, and special events, providing guidance to help people attain enlightenment, a peaceful, calm, serene, and content mind with joy. For more information on participating in courses, retreats, special events, or to invite these teachings to your learning venue, use the contact information below. Teacher, David Roylance. hello@buddhadailywisdom.com. www.buddhadailywisdom.com. Restoration of the Buddha's teachings, the path to enlightenment. The Buddha taught over 2,500 years ago. He taught the path to enlightenment, guiding countless beings to a mental state that is peaceful, calm, serene, and content with joy that is permanent, where the mind has eliminated 100% of all discontent feelings, such as sadness, anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, guilt, shame, fears, boredom, loneliness, shyness, jealousy, resentment, stress, anxiety, etc. Immediately following the death of the Buddha, i.e., Gotama Buddha, the teachings were shining in the world, continuing to guide countless people to enlightenment. But over the course of many generations, just as Gotama Buddha predicted, people's understanding of his teachings gradually diminished due to modifications and adjustments made by people after him. The modifications made to his teachings, handed down through oral transmission, have made it increasingly difficult for human beings to attain enlightenment. The goal of David's teachings is to root the learning and practice he shares in the words of the Buddha, based on the teachings that existed during the lifetime of Gotama Buddha, so that countless beings can now attain enlightenment based on the original path to enlightenment discovered and declared by Gotama Buddha. David does this through connecting what he teaches to the largest, most complete source of teachings from Gotama Buddha, the Pali Canon. The Pali Canon is the original source text of the teachings from Gotama Buddha, as spoken by him during his lifetime. David has spent countless hours dedicated to restoring the words of the Buddha by updating a significant portion of the translations of Gotama Buddha's teachings from the Pali Canon. He now offers several resources for students to learn, reflect, and practice the path to enlightenment to experience the results of an enlightened mind. David offers books, audiobooks, videos, podcasts, online learning programs, personal guidance, and retreats without any requirement for financial support. All the work that is being done is offered openly and freely for all beings without any requirement to provide any financial support. David accepts donations, but students are not required to provide donations for any work that is done in supporting them on the path to enlightenment. David does not request donations and instead just accepts whatever is offered to him, if anything at all. His dedication to sharing these teachings is not motivated by finances. He shares openly and freely with everyone who has a sincere interest in learning and practicing the path to enlightenment. Ultimately, David plans to preserve the teachings of the Buddha in a format that is easily, readily, and openly accessible to anyone in the world, while offering support to learn, reflect, and practice to experience the results of the enlightened mind. His plan is to guide countless people to enlightenment during his lifetime and leave a community of enlightened beings who can continue to share the teachings long after his death. Through developing a community of enlightened beings and preserving the path to enlightenment in resources that are easily, readily, and openly accessible to anyone in the world, David is revealing the hidden teachings of Gotama Buddha and doing the best he can to remove any obstacles one might have to learn, reflect, and practice these teachings, allowing countless people to experience the results of an enlightened mind. Upon his death, David predicts that his closest student, his son, and a continued lineage of teachers will share these same teachings, continuing to support and grow the community of enlightened beings long into the future for the next 1,000 years. These efforts will culminate into restoring the path to enlightenment back into the world so that all of humanity can experience enlightenment, evolving the human species to one where every being has the opportunity to attain enlightenment, creating heaven on earth. The goal, an entire species of enlightened beings. Having experienced enlightenment and knowing the peace, calm, serenity, and contentedness with joy that comes with having attained enlightenment, a Buddha's goal is to share his teachings worldwide so that all beings can experience enlightenment. The enlightened mind no longer experiences any discontent feelings, such as sadness, anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, guilt, shame, fears, boredom, loneliness, shyness, jealousy, resentment, anxiety, stress, etc. All discontent feelings have been eliminated 100% from the enlightened mind, i.e., all suffering is eliminated. An enlightened mind will have loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, and generosity, among many other wholesome qualities. Can you imagine an entire world where all human beings have liberated their mind to no longer experience these discontent feelings and are practicing wholesome qualities of mind at all times? With the Buddha, Gotama Buddha, having attained this permanent mental state of enlightenment on his own as the perfectly enlightened Buddha, he would have known that through his dedicated and persistent pursuit to enlightenment, he had acquired the wisdom needed to guide all beings to this same mental state. However, his teaching career of 45 years would not be enough time to share his teachings worldwide. He knew that it would require many centuries for his teachings to reach all parts of the world. During his lifetime, travel of people and information was limited based on several constraints. Today, we are in a unique time in history where these same constraints have been eliminated, a time when people and information are able to travel around the world in an instant. Not only can information travel quickly, but all of humanity is slowly coming to the point where there is a common language spoken around the world, the English language. Criteria exist today that did not exist during Gautama Buddha's lifetime that make now the perfect time for all of humanity to gradually attain enlightenment, realizing a better existence. People can travel worldwide. Information can be shared worldwide in an instant. Commonly spoken language among a large percentage of the worldwide population, and this is only growing. These criteria did not exist during the lifetime of Gautama Buddha, and it is only now that the world has come into an age where his original goal is realistically possible. But during Gautama Buddha's lifetime, it seems they had something that we may not have. The people during Gautama Buddha's lifetime had perseverance and dedication to learning, reflecting, and practicing the teachings to realize the results of experiencing the enlightened mind. They were not afraid of hard work. With our modern day conveniences, I am unsure how many people are willing to apply their determination, dedication, and diligence with time, effort, energy, and resources towards the path to enlightenment, with the goal to experience the enlightened mind. When a being decides they are finished with the sadness, anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, guilt, shame, fear, boredom, loneliness, shyness, jealousy, resentment, etc., that is the time when one can turn towards the teachings in goal of experiencing enlightenment. Through each individual deciding to learn and practice the teachings of Gautama Buddha as a collective world, our species will gradually evolve. We evolve to a higher consciousness where we train the mind to not harm others through our intentions, speech, nor actions. Through each individual deciding to learn, reflect, and practice the teachings of Gautama Buddha, each person benefits, and we all benefit, as there will be less and less harm in the world. Through individuals deciding to focus on developing a comprehensive approach to learning and practicing the teachings of Gautama Buddha with guidance from a teacher, your life drastically improves and the entire world improves, essentially creating heaven on earth. We do not need to fix the world. That is not the problem. The problem is the unenlightened mind does not understand the natural laws of existence, and it is quite a struggle to live in a world that one does not understand. Through learning and practicing the teachings of Gautama Buddha, a practitioner comes to deeply understand the natural laws of existence to acquire wisdom that will end the struggles and misery one may face on a regular basis. Are you ready to apply determination, dedication, and diligence with time, effort, energy, and resources towards the path to enlightenment with the goal to experience enlightenment? If one enjoys anger, sadness, boredom, loneliness, resentment, etc., there is nothing to do. But if you are interested to eliminate these unwelcomed feelings from the mind, then I suggest you turn towards the path to enlightenment and apply your dedication and diligence to learning, reflecting, and practicing the teachings of Gautama Buddha. And then, as all of humanity gradually experiences enlightenment, we will have accomplished the goal, an entire species of enlightened beings. Why have I decided to teach the path to enlightenment as taught by Gautama Buddha? I have chosen to share these teachings out of compassion for the world. Compassion, Pali, karuna, is concern for the misfortune of others. And due to this compassion, it is important to share teachings that are based in wisdom, not belief. There are countless traditions and ways of sharing those traditions throughout the world. All of these, in one form or another, are essentially sharing to cultivate and practice 1. Universal love for all beings, 2. Do no harm, and 3. Be a good moral person. However, the way each tradition is shared and the clarity of those teachings is unique to each tradition. The path to enlightenment, as taught by Gautama Buddha, the Buddha, over 2,500 years ago, as documented in the Pali Canon, is the most clear, concise, and precise teachings I have ever encountered that leads exactly where he said they do, to enlightenment. The enlightened mind is peaceful, calm, serene, and content with joy permanently. The enlightened mind will no longer experience any discontent feelings such as sadness, anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, guilt, shame, fears, boredom, loneliness, shyness, jealousy, resentment, stress, anxiety, etc. This is accomplished through not believing the teachings of the Buddha, but instead through learning, reflecting, and practicing to discover the truth. The mind can be trained to eliminate all the conditions that are causing it to be stuck in the unenlightened state. Through eliminating the pollution of mind by training the mind, one can experience liberation of mind, freedom from strong feelings, peace, enlightenment. The Buddha's teachings are the only teachings that I have encountered that do not rely on belief. With belief, one does not know what is true or false because they are just believing. Instead, Gautama Buddha's teachings are shared in such a way that a practitioner can investigate and examine them to determine the truth, which leads to wisdom and thus enlightenment. If one was to only believe the teachings of the Buddha, they could not acquire wisdom nor attain enlightenment. These teachings are perfectly suited for today's society where there is a proliferation of misinformation and untruths. These teachings, with guidance from a teacher, guide a practitioner to independently discover the truth through deeply investigating the natural laws of existence, i.e., the teachings of the Buddha. Through doing this inner work on the path to enlightenment, one can discover that these teachings are the solution to the challenges we experience in the world and the solutions of how to heal from what hurt us so that we never need to hurt again. The mind can completely and entirely eliminate 100% of all discontent feelings once it is enlightened. This cannot be accomplished through belief. Instead, a practitioner needs to be determined, dedicated, and diligent to doing the inner work to develop the mind and progress towards the enlightened mental state by acquiring wisdom. As far as I have discovered, there are no other teachings on the planet that can guide an individual to the complete elimination of discontent feelings through independently verifying the teachings to acquire wisdom. The Buddha did something very unique during his lifetime that no other person or teacher has accomplished. He independently attained enlightenment, dedicated the rest of his life to sharing his independently discovered teachings, guiding countless people to enlightenment, and he left his teachings in such a condition that countless more people have attained enlightenment after his death. He meets all the criteria of a true Buddha. Gautama Buddha was a true Buddha. My work during this life has been to rediscover these teachings in such a way that they can now be shared worldwide in the international language of English, so that countless people all throughout the world can attain enlightenment during this lifetime and after my death. The only way to accomplish this goal is to share teachings that are not based in belief, but instead are based in independently verifiable truth so that a practitioner can acquire wisdom. These teachings are clear, concise, and precise. They invite investigation and examination. Through doing this work, one can gradually train the mind to gradually practice these teachings and gradually progress to enlightenment. As discontentedness is gradually diminished and then eliminated from the mind, one can see the truth for themselves that these teachings work to guide one to enlightenment. These teachings lead exactly where Gotama Buddha said they do, to enlightenment, and through each individual choosing to attain enlightenment, humanity will evolve the human species and at the same time create heaven on earth. Why have I decided to reside and teach in Thailand in order to restore the teachings of the Buddha back into humanity and create heaven on earth? 1. Largest population of Theravada Buddhist practitioners anywhere in the world. Thailand is the largest population of Theravada Buddhist practitioners and teachers anywhere in the world. Theravada Buddhism considers the Pali Canon to be the original source teachings of the Buddha in the words of the Buddha. Theravada Buddhism teaches the importance of not changing the teachings of the Buddha and practicing the path to enlightenment as a Buddha has taught without any modifications. The Pali Canon is an important text that should not be believed to be the true teachings of the Buddha, but instead one can learn, reflect, and practice to independently verify the teachings to acquire wisdom, observing the truth in the teachings as the mind awakens and discontent feelings are gradually diminished. Once I dedicate the remaining time of this life sharing these teachings to restore them back into the world, the Thai people and all other diligent students who choose to learn with me will not ever allow these teachings to be changed, modified, degraded, or lost over time. The Thai people and diligent students are well aware that since the lifetime of Gotama Buddha, that is what has occurred, and through having these teachings restored during the remaining time of this life, the Thai people and diligent students will not allow this to occur again. The Thai people will support these teachings and ensure they continue to be offered in the world for the benefit of all beings, while being hosted in Thailand and supported by dedicated students from many international locations. These teachings have existed in Thailand for 800 to 1200 years, and they have received significant support from countless people over many generations. The Thai people understand just how impactful the teachings of the Buddha are to their society and for all of humanity. The Thai people can observe my dedication and commitment to sharing these teachings, and, where possible, they will support me in sharing these teachings throughout Thailand and throughout the world. Due to these teachings existing in Thailand for approximately 800 to 1200 years, there is a significant amount of infrastructure already created through over 30,000 to 40,000 temples where local Thai people and visitors to Thailand can actively learn, reflect, and practice these teachings to acquire wisdom and then integrate them into their lives. The temple and ordained practitioner infrastructure is not isolated to only Thailand, but extends throughout the world and is readily accessible to the benefit of all beings. The Thai people have laid the groundwork for these teachings to now be shared worldwide through the temple and ordained practitioner foundation and infrastructure that has been created over multiple generations. Thailand is a favorite destination for international travelers, with many people visiting Thailand to gain exposure and understanding of these teachings, allowing them to be learned and then practiced worldwide. There is an international audience that regularly visits Thailand who can learn these teachings to then return back to their home country, where these teachings will be able to take root within all international societies. As these teachings flourish around the world, Thailand has the knowledge and resources to support all of humanity to develop a temple and ordained practitioner infrastructure that can be created within each individual country based on the interest of each country to more deeply integrate these teachings into their local communities. 2. Students have the ability to learn and practice among millions of practitioners. One aspect of learning and practicing the teachings of the Buddha that will aid one's development and progress towards the attainment of enlightenment is to be part of a community of practitioners and teachers that can provide guidance for gradual training and gradual practice to experience gradual progress on the path to enlightenment. Through me residing and teaching in Thailand, students have the opportunity to live in a community of practitioners and teachers who are deeply committed to these teachings and can serve as a role model for students to gain deeper understanding of how to practice these teachings in everyday life, even if on a semi-temporary basis during short visits to learn. Through students traveling to Thailand to learn while being surrounded by millions of practitioners, they can more readily absorb how one might choose to integrate these teachings into their daily life through observing how the people of Thailand live with countless nationalities residing peacefully and harmoniously with each other throughout the Kingdom of Thailand. Students will not only be able to learn these teachings in a classroom setting at a temple, but they will also experience day-to-day interactions with people who are choosing to deeply practice these teachings, creating real-life lessons in a classroom without walls. The entire Kingdom of Thailand can serve as a real-life classroom environment where these teachings are readily practiced and observable by those who choose to visit this kingdom. I often refer to Thailand as heaven on earth. 3. Can live with minimal expenses. To be able to offer these teachings at no cost, I needed to find a location where I could reside with minimal expenses. This allows me to live based on donations rather than charging students a price for the time, effort, energy, and resources that I expend to share these teachings worldwide. This allows me to serve the widest audience possible without a need to require payment for my services and the teachings that are shared. The basic necessities to live life are readily available and are offered at a minimal cost in Thailand. This provides me the ability to live a basic lifestyle from donations shared by students. I am able to purchase food, water, clothing, shelter, and medical care at a relatively nominal cost, and services that I might need to support the development of learning resources are also readily available at a nominal cost. Whether it be an audio studio to record an audiobook, printing services, technology, classroom supplies, or a full range of other needs to support the continued sharing of these teachings, Thailand offers these at a nominal price so that there is the best utilization of any and all donations received. As a result, I am able to help any and all beings regardless of their financial situation through creating a lifestyle where I only need basic necessities to survive, and those are provided at a nominal cost while being supported by donations that are fully utilized by purchasing goods and services that are made available at a reasonable price. 4. Healthy environment to live life and work. A wise choice for a place to live and teach would need to include a healthy food supply, weather, environment, and lifestyle. All of these are readily available in Thailand, which is able to support me in leading as healthy of a lifestyle as possible. The food in Thailand is healthy and readily available. There are many fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, nuts, seeds, and other foods that are a regular part of the Thai food offerings and readily accessible among countless fresh food markets. This allows me to ingest quality food that is supportive to a long and healthy life, thus being able to support the learning of many students for as long as possible due to an elongated duration of life. Thailand's weather and environment provides the least impact to the physical body without significant weather changes or weather events that can be taxing to one's physical health. The Thai economy is conducive to living a balanced lifestyle that supports a significant amount of time with family and friends. A work-life balance is highly understood, appreciated, supported, and straightforward to create while living in Thailand. I am able to remain dedicated and determined in my work life while also being dedicated to quality time within our immediate family. This creates the very best environment to ensure consistent health and longevity of life while enjoying a fulfilling life. 5. Can share teachings within Thailand throughout the day and can share teachings with the rest of the world in the mornings and evenings. Through living and sharing these teachings from Thailand and needing minimal sleep, I am able to help countless people throughout the day based on the Thai time zone, while helping countless people in other time zones during the early morning hours and evenings. This allows me to be effective at sharing these teachings around the clock and throughout the world without any limitations based on restrictive time zones. The time zone in Thailand is favorable to allowing me to share these teachings worldwide without limitations based on the time of day. I can be helpful from morning, afternoon, and evening where there are students who are readily interested to learn, whether in person or online. 6. Students have easy access to visas to gain access to classes, courses, and retreats. To be successful at sharing these teachings worldwide, in-person learning is ideal. While there is much that can be learned online, and that is one way to be able to share these teachings, there is no better way to develop your life practice than to learn through in-person access to a teacher. Through residing and teaching in Thailand, students from all over the world have easy access to classes, courses, and retreats from within Thailand due to easy access to visas and, as a result, me as their teacher. Thailand does not have restrictive visa requirements that would bar people from certain countries, which would inhibit all beings from gaining access to these teachings. Instead, Thailand is open and accessible to a wide majority of the world, and where needed, I am able to travel. I live in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is an international destination for countless people around the world. I live within a 4,000 kilometer distance to 50% of the world's population. This means that half of the world's population is a short drive or plane ride away. This creates the ability for a large majority of humanity to more easily gain access to these teachings, and, where needed, I am able to easily travel to all other parts of the world and teach online. People often travel to Thailand for the sole purpose of learning the teachings of the Buddha on the path to enlightenment. So, by sharing these teachings from within Thailand, there are countless people who are coming here specifically to learn and practice in the exact location where I reside and teach. In conclusion, through residing and teaching in Thailand as a home base, I am able to readily share these teachings worldwide and work towards the restoration of the teachings of the Buddha back into humanity so that countless people can attain enlightenment during this lifetime and after my death. Thailand is the perfect location for these teachings to be shared and to serve as a home base or headquarters for the international community to be invited and welcomed with open arms. There is no other location on earth that could provide for a better location to share these important teachings and to then be preserved for future generations. The kingdom is here in Thailand and ready to support you in the development of your life practice towards the attainment of enlightenment so that we can all create heaven on earth. The teachings are hosted in the East and visible in the West. They are readily available to you, and there will be a period of 1,000 years that they will shine in the world for all those who choose to learn, reflect, and practice to experience the peace and joy of the enlightened mind. Then, with all of us doing the work towards developing our own individual practice of these teachings, they will never again diminish, be degraded, or lost. Once restored, these teachings can continue to support humanity for the rest of time. May you discover the peace and joy of the enlightened mind in this lifetime. May you be peaceful, may you be safe, may you be well, and may you be free of all discontentedness and the suffering it causes. The following is a translation of Gotama Buddha's teachings from the Pali Canon, the source of Gotama Buddha's teachings. Wander forth, O monks, for the welfare of the multitude, for the peacefulness of the multitude, out of compassion for the world, for the good, welfare, and peacefulness of heavenly beings and humans. Teach, O monks, the teachings that are good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end, with the right meaning and phrasing. Reveal the perfectly complete and purified holy life. There are beings with little dust in their eyes who are falling away because they do not hear the teachings. There will be those who will understand the teachings. Gotama Buddha, reference SN 4.5. The only war worth waging is the war within the mind. Win that war and you have won everything. The Teacher. Glossary. Aryan is a term that was used as a designation by Indo-Iranian people. The word was used by the Indic people of the Vedic period in India as an ethnic label for themselves and to refer to the noble class as well as the geographic region known as Aryavarta, where Indo-Aryan culture is based. Today, we translate this word to be noble. Attention, concentration of the mind on a single object or thought, the action of paying close observation to something, i.e., focus, alertness, concentration. Awareness, knowledge or perception of a situation, fact, or thought. Craving, desire, attachment, wants, expectations, grasping, holding, clinging. A mental longing for something with a strong eagerness, the mind pulling in a direction for the objects of its affection. Bhikkhuni, an ordained female student of Gotama Buddha. Bhikkhu, an ordained male student of Gotama Buddha. Buddha Vajana, the words of the Buddha. Complacency, sluggish mind, laziness, lethargic, lack of motivation or energy, a feeling of self-satisfaction combined with a lack of awareness of pending trouble or accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. Consciousness refers to your individual awareness of your unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environment, the mind. Defilement, the three poisons, the three unwholesome roots, the three fires, craving, anger, and ignorance, i.e., the unknowing of true reality, or greed, hatred, and delusion. Dhamma, teachings of Gotama Buddha, the natural laws of existence. Discernment is wise decision-making based in wisdom. Discernment is helpful to the mind and needs to be cultivated to attain enlightenment. Eon. An eon is an incalculable length of time. An eon is so significant and lengthy that it is immeasurable. Fetter. A taint, an unwholesome quality of the mind, pollution of the mind, a chain or shackle used to restrain a prisoner, typically placed around the ankles. Frivolous speech, idle chatter, is described as speaking unbeneficially and unpurposefully. This is typically done with the mind's craving, desire, attachment, where one may just be rambling pointlessly without any real purpose or need to speak, but instead, just because there is a craving, desire to talk. There is no purpose or value to the speech. In some cases, one could be speaking quickly and continuously without the ability for a mutual conversation. Goal, objective, interest. The objective of a person's ambition or effort, an aim for a result, to have the intention of achieving something. Harm is an injury caused by one being to another being or group of beings. Physical injury, material possessions, reputation, etc. An individual can cause harm to another being, but they cannot cause another being to be discontent. If you cause harm to others, harm will come back to you. This is unwholesome karma, or the unwholesome results of your decisions. Household practitioner, householder, a person leading a typical life within the home environment who is learning and practicing the teachings of Gotama Buddha. Judgment, attempting to determine what is right or wrong for another person while placing oneself above others with arrogance or pride, i.e., the ego. Comparing that one is superior or inferior to another person, attempting to declare who is wholesome or unwholesome, good or bad. Judgment is based in conceit. Judgment is harmful to the mind and needs to be eliminated to attain enlightenment. Lay follower, lay person, a person leading a typical life within the home environment who is learning and practicing the teachings of Gotama Buddha, a household practitioner. Mind is our consciousness where all intentions for speech and actions originate, along with our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, feelings, and emotions arise, are experienced, and then cease to exist. Non-judgment, peacefully coexisting with all beings while accepting all beings as they are, with loving kindness and compassion, practicing true love. Pali, the language used as a source for the teachings of Gotama Buddha. Pali Canon, or Pali text, Gotama Buddha's full collection of teachings in the Pali language, no longer a spoken language today. All teachings can be learned in English. It is not required that you understand Pali to attain enlightenment. Patience is the ability to wait or to continue doing something despite difficulties without complaining or becoming annoyed. Pursue, pursuit, to continue or proceed along a path or route. Samsara, the cycle of rebirth, the cycle of new existence. Sangha, the community of bhikkhunis, bhikkhus, novices, and household practitioners. There are also more detailed definitions for specific aspects of the Sangha. Aryan, noble Sangha, community of anyone who has attained any of the 4 stages of enlightenment, including household practitioners. Bhikkhuni Sangha, community of female ordained practitioners. Bhikkhu Sangha, community of male ordained practitioners. Slander, gossip, speech or communication that is damaging to the reputation of an individual, company, organization, country, group of people, etc., whether true or false. Sotapanna, stream enterer, stream winner, the 1st stage of enlightenment. Tathagata, a fully perfectly enlightened Buddha, a fully perfectly enlightened one, a Buddha. Thought, the action or process of thinking. Wisdom, the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good insight, the quality of being wise. The Lord's Prayer explained. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our God, the Father, who created heaven, your name is special, unique, and you are greatly honored. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. I will do the work in this life to improve my life practice such that I will aim to function as a heavenly being, practicing these teachings in a way that is wise and wholesome, helping to bring the qualities of heaven to earth through my own practice. Give us this day our daily bread. I will use this day to make things better and improved in my life. Just as bread nourishes the body, I will use this day to improve the mind and my life. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Forgive me for the wrongs, harms I have done, and those things that I find challenging to accomplish, just as I will aim to forgive those who do wrongs, harms against me. God has already forgiven us and knows we are not perfect. This is just a way to admit to ourselves and God that we are not perfect and thanking Him for His forgiveness. This is to admit to ourselves and God that there is still work to be done in our own life and life practice. This phrase helps to cultivate a mind of non-judgment towards others, realizing that we cause harm and so do others. We do not need to hold grudges or resentment, just as God does not hold grudges or resentment towards us. It helps to cultivate humbleness in the mind. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I am open to your guidance towards wholesomeness, leading me away from unwholesomeness, but I realize I am the one that needs to do the work. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Your wisdom is the perfect place to reside. You are the all-powerful, and I glorify you, forever and ever. Amen. This is not a rite, ritual, ceremony, or worship, but instead affirmations to remain determined, dedicated, and diligent in developing your life practice. Invitation to learn. I would like to invite you to a kind, compassionate, and loving community of practitioners to learn and grow with these teachings. I would like to invite you to join this online group. You will find it to be an online learning center for these teachings, and there is a teacher there to help provide guidance as you have questions. Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha. Facebook.com/groups/Daily Wisdom 999. Additional learning. Visit BuddhaDailyWisdom.com, where you will discover a full range of courses, retreats, and online learning resources to assist you on the path to enlightenment. Donations for learning. Learn the teachings of Gotama Buddha that lead to a stable, calm, and peaceful mind, a more peaceful and loving world where all beings have care and compassion for each other. By supporting this learning opportunity, you will learn how to progress along the path to enlightenment and help offer these teachings to others through online and in-person learning. Through these teachings, the world will become a kinder, more peaceful, and loving society. Consider contributing $5, $10, $15, or any amount you wish to help us continue to offer these teachings to you and others around the world. You can make a donation for the development and creation of these teachings to help you and others using this link, buddhadailywisdom.com/support Buddha. The end of each chapter will have learning resources for further exploration. You will be able to explore the audiobook, videos, podcasts, and quizzes to deepen your understanding of the content you read in each chapter. Please see the ebook for more details on these resources. As you have questions or need clarification on these teachings, you are welcome to post those into the Facebook group, Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha, or contact the author privately for in-depth learning. Daily Wisdom, Walking the Path with the Buddha, facebook.com/groups/Daily Wisdom 999.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To provide support for this podcast, visit patreon.com/support Buddha. To access more teachings, visit buddhadailywisdom.com. There, you will discover a full range of courses, retreats, and online resources to assist you on the path to enlightenment. Remember to establish a daily, consistent meditation practice, along with learning and practicing these teachings. A well-developed meditation practice is the foundation in which to train the mind to attain enlightenment.